Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. It's Fabulous Friday, but first, I'm going to give you some bad news, and it's this. If anybody else ordered this, the design is all wrong. It made me really, really sad when I cut it out, and the pieces just don't, they just don't work, and I'll show you. To begin with, you've got this bit here, which is supposed to obviously cut as a whole piece, and then you would just turn in the sides, fold it up, and you're supposed to have a little pocket on the front where you can put your cards and things like that. But in reality, when you've got it in your hand and you see the distance between here and the distance between there was absolutely no way that you could have glued the sides down because the base is too deep. Not only is the base too deep, but the angle on the easel there, the incline, is just too sharp. But I do insist that you should ask for your money back on that one, because as it was presented in its image, it doesn't work for that purpose. But if you do have it and you want to rescue it, then what you need to do is cut it off here, and then you'll be left with the flap and the little pocket, and then you need to score it, fold that up and attach it back like this. Then you can get that on and it does work. But you still have the problem of the extreme incline on the easel section. Now, because this bit is flat, it will stand up, but that still sticks up, and I'll show you. You can rescue it, yeah, but it just doesn't do what the description says. So if you're disappointed like I am, you should ask for your money back or a replacement die to replace the money that you spent. So that is the bad news out of the way. The other bit is we started the week with a Walmart tablecloth. So I figured we should end the week with a Walmart tablecloth. And I was experimenting last night and I used a couple of my Dreamcatcher dies, and I wanted to see if you could put alcohol ink onto the tablecloth. Yes, you can, but it does repel slightly. So I'm not super impressed with that. And what I should have done is just used a different color cardstock underneath it. So it's an experiment that you can try yourselves. Maybe you can get it to adhere a bit better than I did, but I just didn't like the way, I don't know if you can see that, I didn't like the way that it pulled into the texture. But other than that, it does cut really fine detail. So that was a little experiment with my tablecloth last night. And then the next bit, more bad news, because I used a couple of dies that I just cannot find. And this is one of those dies. It's a little polar bear set with an iceberg and a couple of snowflakes. And I poured over AliExpress yesterday until I was almost blind, and I just could not find it. So I will link to some very cute polar bears below, but this set, it just looks like it's gone. But this is what I made. And I also, excuse my throat, used the jolly that I got the other day. This is a really nice sentiment. It looks all squoozed out is the word, like it's been squeezed from a tube. But this is the card that I made, and you can see I used the Walmart tablecloth on the jolly and the snowflakes and on the iceberg, which they're standing and sitting on. I used distress ink in tumbled glass for the background, for the sea and the sky, and just used one of my toothbrush shaped blending brushes from AliExpress. So there's 2 bits of disappointment I've delivered to you today, and there is a third coming up on the next one, so I do apologise. And for my next thing, I decided to make a tag, and I used my candy set that I showed you yesterday, and then I went and used a tag die. This one is no longer available, but what is available is a wonky stitch tag, but it has a scallop edge, and I do have that one, and maybe I should have used that one, but I just grabbed the first one next to me, and it was this one from a set of 3 that I got last year. Maybe some of the sellers will bring some of these things back because they were so popular. And this is the tag that I made. I used my lovely gold twine, as you can see there, and instead of having them as candy, I used them as Christmas balls, and then used the gold twine and fixed it with a bow up there on a little swivel. I used gold cardstock dots, dotty paper. My language is all blur this morning from Tuesday morning, and you can see the Walmart tablecloth is behind those little spiral candy shaped balls that I've used as a Christmas ball on that tag. So I'm very sorry to disappoint you today, and I also kept the spirals out of those because I just thought they were so pretty. So I'm going to use those on something else. So the spirals that came out of the candy, they just look really sweet. So I'm going to keep those. But as I say, I'm sorry to disappoint you on a Friday. And hopefully I won't on Monday. So you have a fabulous weekend. As usual, all links are below, and I will see you on Monday. Bye.